I want to share with you a 3-component test that we use when we're evaluating SEO keywords for our clients. So you probably have a list of keywords that you're thinking about targeting so that you can actually rank in Google and Bing and so that customers can find you. But if you're trying to decide which one to start with, I recommend this test. So the first component of the 3 components are to decide if your customers are actually using this keyword. Are people actually searching for this keyword? And Google has a research tool called the Keyword Planner where you can actually enter any keyword and you can find the search volume. Now, sometimes you get a keyword and there's no data in the Google search tool. And so you might assume that nobody's searching for that keyword. But what we've found is that Google can't necessarily index data for every single possible keyword out there. So we've targeted keywords that Google would have otherwise indicated that there was no search volume for, and then later found out that when we looked in Webmaster Tools, our search console, as it's called now, that keyword did in fact bring customers to the website. So the first thing you want to do is just ask yourself, are our customers using this? And you can use tools to validate it, but honestly you're probably going to know better just by talking to your customers and asking how they refer to your business. So a quick sidebar, make sure you're using the language that they're using. Just today I was talking to a client and they were using a very industry-specific term to describe their product. When they brought it to us, we had never heard that term, and we turned it around and actually presented a much more obvious and familiar term to the layman, and we had a discussion, and it turns out that their customer is searching for that, and there was a lot of search volume for that otherwise, oblivious keyword to them. Okay, so understand which keywords your customers will be using. That's test number 1. Test number 2 is to make sure that your website can actually rank for that, and there's a couple of factors here. You want to see how competitive that keyword is. If you're starting on day 1 and you've got no search engine optimization, you've got no authority for Google, then you probably don't want to go after a keyword that's extremely competitive. And we use a tool here called Moz where we can actually enter any keyword in, and it gives us kind of a best guess estimate of how competitive that is. But you don't necessarily need a tool to decide how competitive it is. You can pretty much find out by the people who are ranking on page 1. Are these huge companies that have been around for a long time and you're just starting out? Or are the rankings that you're finding on page 1 for this keyword kind of so-so and you feel like you've got a better result than those people? If you do, then it's probably a good keyword to go after. The other thing that's very related to this is to make sure that your website should rank for that keyword. Meaning, if you have only been making fashion accessories and now you're going to try to target something in a completely new industry, like dental services, just to pick something extremely odd, Google's not going to want to rank your website for that because it already associates your website with a different industry and a different number of subjects. So step number 2 of the test is to make sure that you can actually rank for that keyword based on competitiveness, okay? So you know your customers are searching for it, you believe that you can rank for it. Now it's time for the 3rd test that I think a lot of people overlook. You want to make sure that what you offer, that the content you have on your website, is the best result in the eyes of Google and most people searching for that keyword. I had customers bring keywords that seemed like they would bring them customers, but when we really took a step back, 80% of the people searching for that keyword didn't need or want the product or service that my customer had. So there was a much more popular use for that keyword. Now, no matter how much work we do, if we get you to rank for that keyword, Google's going to keep track of the number of people that are clicking on the different search results. And if everyone is clicking on every search result but yours, you're not going to last on page 1 for very long. So the 3rd item of the test is to take a step back and say, for the majority of people searching for this keyword, do I have the product or the content that most of those people want? And if you can answer yes to all 3, it's keywords that your customers are using, that you have the best solution for them, and that you can actually obtain that keyword, then that qualifies as a keyword that you should be focusing on. So I just wanted to share that with you because I know a lot of people get caught up and can't decide which keyword to go after. That's the thought process that we go through here to decide what we should focus on next. So I hope that helps, and good luck with your SEO.